Hi everyone, this is just a quick walkthrough through your Interact site just so you can get a little bit familiar with it. So you land on the home page and this is me and Thomas saying hello to you. The next really important page I want you to go to is the Getting Started page. The Getting Started page contains all sorts of information that you're going to need. So this is just a really short introductory video about your assessments. This is where I'll place the introduction to the I2 site, so if you need to go back and refer to anything. It has the information about your textbook, some information about your assessments in terms of what we're looking for you to do, and then this schedule. So I really want you to pop the schedule for your assessments into your diary as quickly as possible. You need to get a real sense of time management when it's a flexible submission the way it is. The next thing to have a quick look through is the subject outline. These are all the details in terms of what the subject is about. This is the information about the actual assessments again. This is me as your coordinator. And you just scroll down through the page. So here I am. This is Talmud. Talmud's going to be our co-teacher for this session. These are all the things you're going to be able to do by the end of the session. There's an overview of the actual content, the textbook again. You can go to the portal and actually get a hyperlink to the actual textbook database and get a hold of your textbook, the schedule, all the things we're going to be doing, and so forth. So have a really good read through your subject outline. It's really important to get on top of all of those things. And if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You can pop it into the discussion forums if you like, or you can send me an email directly or give me a call. In terms of the subject community, we have our contacts page. So again, here's the information for Talmud and myself. We have our announcements page, and this is where I haven't put any up yet, but this is where you'll be getting all the information as I need you to understand what's about to happen next. So when there's an online meeting or when assignments are due and things like that, I'll send it out through the announcements. This is your discussion page. So the first thing I'd like you to do is hop in and share a little bit of information about yourself. What's your course? What are your hobbies? And why are you studying marketing is always some nice things, but you can talk about anything you like. There's places here for general questions, so if there's anything just in general you want to know about. And then there's some specific ones about the assignments. It's better to try and put them into unique discussion boards. That way we can easily track the questions that are being asked. The next thing to think about is the learning content and activities. So we pop into our topic modules. We click here on the learning module itself, and then that takes you to all the information you're going to be studying. So as you can see, each topic has learning objectives. There are some readings. Your textbook is always the primary reading, and then there's some additional ones that I think are very helpful. You don't have to read them all every week, but if you're interested in the topic and you'd like to know a little bit more, it's always a good idea to pop into these ones as recommended. Then there's just a little bit of theory and a little bit of conceptualization about the actual subject itself. Then there's a little video which talks about the assignment, talks about the topic itself, and there's a few little mini test your knowledge activities in there as well. And then there's always a forum task as well inside the module. So each week you just pop in, read through the content, have a look at the readings in your textbook, and watch the video itself. In terms of resources, we have lots of additional resources. Again, there's some more readings here to help you with your assignments. So assignments 2 and 3 both require extra work, not just the textbook. So I've put up a few articles to get you going. These are by no means the only ones I want you to have a look at. There's just some things for you to think about. Some other resources here are some video resources. So if you're more of a watcher, there's just some things here. So positioning maps, decision making. This is some interesting things in terms of marketing, creative design, and how marketers use all sorts of tricks to make the products look appealing. These are some interesting creative ideas in terms of how you can make advertising stand out from the clutter. And this is a video from Philip Kotler, who is one of the forefathers of marketing practice and theory. The other part of the resources is just some general resources. So there's lots of things you might wonder how to do. And these are just some PDFs. So, you know, battling public speaking nerves when you're doing your presentations. Even though you're alone and you're doing it as an online narrative, it's sometimes really nerve-wracking. Being a critical thinker, report writing, submitting to EAST, just little bits and pieces that you might not be quite sure about that you can pop in here and have a little look at. How to assess a journal article is another really good one to have a look at if you have never been asked to do a critical evaluation of an article before. This is just general reports. And then there's some data sources as well. And again, these aren't the only ones that are out there. These are just some really interesting ones that I thought might help you along the way. So the Australian Bureau of Statistics is always a good one. The Household Expenditure Report gives us a lot of information about how consumers are actually spending their money. The General Social Survey just gives us a sense of how people are feeling in general and so forth. So I recommend that you have a look at all these different kind of sources. And during the session, if I find more resources, I'll pop them into these spaces. It's just to build up a database there. Of course, we have our EAST submission, so I can't show you much here because I'm not a student, but you guys would have access to EAST there. The same is for my grades. Again, I'm not a student, so I won't have anything coming up here, but when you do have assignments marked, your grades will be released and you'll be able to go to My Grades and see your marks straight away. We have additional support services from CSU, so tips for studying online, just getting you started and moving through the process, the CSU library and how to access them and the kind of resources that they have for you, other learning opportunities, so workshops, individual support spaces, study guides and the like, and then there's some useful links. So these links are to the calendar, so making sure you're on top of everything, and Student Central is your support for non-related subject questions. So if you want to change course, or if you have some special consideration questions, these are all places to go and ask these things. The student portal here, this hyperlink here, takes you to all of these really important things that you as a student need to understand and can access. And then there's some important forms. So if you do want to make some changes, for example, you might have been ill and you want to make a request for special consideration, you can just pop in here to the administration portal, and then that'll take you through those steps of how to apply for special consideration. And so forth. So there's lots of things in here to have a look at. I recommend that you go through in these first weeks before the session starts, just to become familiar with your site. And again, as I've said, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Talk to you again soon.